3, 2, 1. Starting transmission.
Ah!
Oh. Cupcake sleepy. Ugh. There we
Cupcake make all the noises.
go. Cupcake just got off another 50-hour work week, so Cupcake tired.
Oh, poor Cupcake.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't have an assistant manager again, so
What the fuck?
good times, but
Oh, Cupcake.
I'm so freaking hungry, man. I don't know what the hell to do. I've been hungry all day.
Might I recommend you eat something?
Well, I had a bowl of cereal,
Okay.
peanut butter sandwich, 2 hot dogs on 2 hamburger buns, a couple miscellaneous, kitty-sized candy bars, we call it, like the ones you get like at Halloween, and maybe a box of raisins. It's not like I haven't eaten. I just I can't stop being hungry.
You had hot dogs on hamburger buns?
My mom bought hot dogs for the dog to eat because he doesn't like anything else right now, and it sounded good. We don't have hot dog buns, so I just use hamburger buns. Like cut them in half and put them on a hamburger bun.
Alright.
Oh, don't give me that look. I could have used white bread.
That would have been better.
Ew, no, why? What? Poor people problems, I swear to God. I should just went out and got hot dog buns.
Mr. Fancy, just go out and get the right thing.
Yep. I do what I can. Ugh. So good times.
Oh, such good times.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party Podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. There is a cat in my lap, and that makes me happy. On with the show.
Oh, poor Cupcake. Just looks so tired.
I'm not tired, it's fatigue. Is fatigue right? Because fatigue,
Yes.
if you have it long enough, turns into exhaustion. Like, when I say exhaustion, I don't mean like, I'm exhausted. I mean like, I have physical exhaustion. Something's going on?
Yeah. Continue your sentence.
No, if you have to take care of something, that's alright. I can wait.
Okay. I will be right back.
Okay.
I will knock over stuff on the way.
I think I'll go for a coffee. I'm too fat. Stay on target. I'm too fat. Stay on target. Wait. Well, I'm greasy and shit, so you can see it in my hair. Oh, it's so gross. I need some more coffee. Oh.
Transmission interrupted.
Wow, is that a reflection of a bush in whatever's back on her wall? Holy crap, it's green where she lives. That's amazing. Dude, I wish it was green here. It's still snowy and probably going to stay snowy for a while. Oh, man. I really should get the setup like she's got. That's probably the best way to do my mic. Just have it come up and over. Be so fancy. Oh, man, be so fancy. Woof.
Reconnecting transmission.
You returned.
Sorry about that.
That must have been some kind of emergency. Holy moly.
It wasn't an emergency. There's just no internet.
Oh, that seems like an emergency to me.
Well, her Roku box didn't have internet, and then her computer didn't have internet.
And you worked out that you didn't have internet?
No, there was internet. Neither of them knew that.
Ah.
So it was a matter of getting the fucking things to realize that there's fucking internet there.
Ah, they're high quality products.
Yes.
2 lines of code? 10 minutes of great suffering.
Really? Yeah. Okay, one sec.
Alright.
Apparently no. No, I did not get it to realize there's internet. I'm sorry about this.
Oh, don't apologize to me. It's my day off. I don't give a shit. In fact, if you take like another 20 minutes, I'll be in the fucking whiskey before too long.
Don't get drunk.
Why? What's the worst that could happen? For all she knows, this mug could be full of whiskey, except it's not. It's dark.
Transmission interrupted. Drink tea now. Drink tea now. Drink tea now. Reconnecting transmission.
So anyway.
Best 2 out of 3?
Yes. Facebook loaded. She has internet.
Maybe. I am the mighty forehead! I'll sit up a little bit. This is what happens when you have a fucking 32-inch screen. Like, to put this in perspective, here's my head. You can't even see the top of the, like, it's a good, 10, 15 inches of screen before you get to the actual camera. If it was on this one or this one, it wouldn't be a big deal, but this one's humongous. Because I am a consumer whore. And how?
Dude, in the past 2 days, we have bought a brand new television, mount, and mattress with adjustable system.
Ooh, adjustable. So it's like a Craftmatic?
Yeah.
Fun. How does it feel to be old?
Glorious.
What are you, 85? I'm in my 70s.
Yes.
According to all the pups that I work with. Oh, Cupcake's ancient, man. He's in his 30s. Shut up! I'm young and virile. I just can't lift heavy things anymore because my back will pop.
Dude, Generation Z is blowing right past us millennials now.
Yeah, I know. It's like every time I hear my parents' generation going, those goddamn millennials and their phones, they got their noses in their phones. I'm going, you do realize the average millennial's 35, right? What? The generation you're thinking of is the one after us. Huh? The teenagers with their noses in their phones, that's the generation after us. A millennial would be in their 30s right now. They're the ones having kids. No. Yes, I'm a millennial. I'm 31. Right over their heads. Just like my parents' generation still thinks of us like we're teenagers. Like, no, dude, we're the people like with houses and kids and like jobs. Like, we're not the teenagers anymore. That's the next guys. They're the ones that are gonna be voting you all out of office in about 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm. They're the ones who just marched today.
Yeah, no, I'm like, they're the ones, unlike us, that are actually marching on Washington to tell you to eat shit and die. So, you might want to take note of them quickly because we're taking all the executive positions and they're gonna start voting. So, you do the math. We spent our entire lives having the dream ripped out from under us. They never even thought the dream would come true. So, you're in for a real rude awakening in about 5 to 10 years. That moment when they mentioned that 2018 is going to be the first time that millennials outweigh baby boomers for a number of eligible voters.
Dude.
There are more eligible and likely millennials that will be voting this November than there are baby boomers for the first time in my entire life. I'm 31, which isn't really that old for things, but like, oh shit. And if the Democrats take either house or take the entirety of Congress, it's going to be a reckoning.
Oh, don't get my hopes up.
I know, right? Can you imagine if the Democrats take the midterms, like just destroy and end up getting a majority in both houses? Oh, he's gonna have a bad last 2 years. Or if they impeach him, we'll end up with President
Pence.
What's his nuts? Yeah, the theological dipshit.
And he could have a terrible 2 years.
And the guy after him will probably have a terrible 2 years, but I don't even know who's after him at this point because they've changed offices so many times.
Yeah.
Like in my entire life, not to be political, but like in my entire life, like I remember like, in between like elections, they would change secretaries occasionally.
Yeah.
Somebody would leave, somebody would, they'd say, you did your service, you didn't do anything wrong, but we need a different perspective. So, Secretary of State's going to this person for the next 2 years. But like now it's been like we've had like 2 secretaries of defense, 3 secretaries of state, a couple chiefs of staff. Like, holy shit!
What's the new guy's position? Secretary of State?
Yeah, he's cleaning house too, by the sounds of it.
Oh God! Isn't he the one that wants to bomb everyone?
Yeah, and he thinks the Nazis were not necessarily wrong in their belief system.
Oh God!
I think was that the guy that's running in Chicago? I don't remember, but some high-profile appointment.
They're all terrible.
The whole problem is that the left is now the right, and the right are fucking Nazis.
Yes,
like
literal Nazis.
Like the hyperbole is only somewhat facetious. It's like we went from the liberals being like the majority of the left being like far left, and then the right being somewhere in the middle going to the right. And now it's like, no, the left is center going right, and the right are just fucking Nazis. They're just fucking way off there with their jackboots and their, kill everybody who isn't like this specific group of people, except that like that specific group of people doesn't even really exist in real life anymore because fucking Americans are so interbred into each other that like that pure Aryan race doesn't even fucking exist on this continent. And where it does exist, they don't believe in that shit anymore. You go to prison for saying that shit.
Yeah, there is no grand ideal.
You think after 10,000 years of breeding dogs, we would have learned that a pure fucking race is a terrible fucking idea.
That would be smart. Humans are dumb.
Like, dogs. Dogs are proof positive that a pure fucking race is a terrible idea. Look at every purebred animal on the planet. Oh, well, some of them are fine. Yeah, but the most of them are fucking falling over.
Yeah, no, you want the best dog. You want a mix.
Get up with some weird fucking cocktail of 3 or 4 different breeds that looks funny, smells funny, but is the best dog you've ever owned.
It will be the healthiest thing ever and will love you to death.
Can survive just about anything. Doesn't, it dies at the age of 25 from cancer that was no way, fucking avoidable because it's ancient.
Mm-hmm.
Like, its body just finally goes, I can't reproduce anymore. You're too old. Like the equivalent of like a human living to 150. It's like, you lived long enough. I give up.
You're done now.
Yeah, the equipment just wears out. Not that anybody wants to die, but it's like there's a point where it's just like, I can't reproduce the DNA anymore. It's just too fucked up. The dog's all gray. It's blind. It's deaf. It doesn't have any teeth. It's still alive. Fuck it. But yeah, my life has been work, and hey, how about some more work while you're at it?
Yeah, we were talking about how you were fatigued, going on exhaustion.
Oh yeah, so my working assumption right now, like where I'm at, like with the headaches and the jikes and all the fun, like weird head maladies, is that I've reached a point of chronic fatigue that I'm actually dealing with actual real medical exhaustion. Like, not like I'm exhausted. Like, no, I'm actually dealing with exhaustion. Like, as a medical issue.
You work too much. Far too much.
Right? My last 4 weeks were 40, 49, 52, 48, and 49. And they wanted me to work more, and I was like, I have to go home. I can't physically think anymore. This was last night. I was just like, I looked at my boss. I got there at 6:30 on Friday morning, and at 7 p.m. I went home. I just told my boss, like, I can't work anymore. I can't physically think anymore. Like, the thoughts aren't coming anymore. I have to go home. If this has to be done, I'll come back tomorrow and finish it up. But I'm going home. I can't. That's 12 and a half hours. I'm done. I can't think anymore. He's like, fine, okay. I didn't go into work today. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here. Fuck you guys. It's my weekend off. I've given as much as I can give for this week. I'll pick it up again next week. But yeah, I was gonna watch anime. I just haven't had the energy. I'm still buying it. Food Wars Season 2 is sitting on my pile.
Of course it is.
I ordered. What was the one I ordered? Is it like Zero something? The one about the guy like Zero a new life in a different dimension or something? I want to say it's like Re-Zero, like RE:0, but I might be wrong. Like, Crunchyroll keeps having these weird, like, Funimation special order deals, and they're, like, super cheap, and so I've been, like, ordering them just because it's, like, an $80 or $90 item, and it's, like, on sale for $40, and I'm like, okay, you got me.
Re-Zero, starting life in another world.
Yes, yeah, so I got the collector's edition of that on order. That doesn't come out till, like, June? So that's cool. And I want to get a copy of Chihaya Furu Season 2, but I'm waiting for that to go. Well, I think it's on sale this weekend. I might have to look into that. Did I mention that even though I got yelled at by my accountant, I got like a record amount of money back on my taxes this year?
Why were you yelled at by your accountant?
I'm not putting enough money into my student loans. I'm paying what the loan company's telling me to pay, which is like not nearly enough. But that's also because I'm trying to pay off some other debts first before I get that that's the biggest debt I have and I should be paying the most money into it. But like, I'm paying off the debts that have a more immediate higher percentage of interest to pay. Because I have the next 20 or 15 years of my life to pay that off. I feel like Kiki's gonna, like, strangle me with her thoughts in about 5 seconds.
That's a bad cupcake.
What? I'm paying off medical debt. What do you want? What debts did you think I was paying off? You think I have a problem with whoring or something? Because you had this look on your face like I'm like the average American, like I bought stupid shit or something. I was like, no, they're medical debts. I'm paying off like...
No, I wasn't implying that your other debts were weird or anything like that. Just that you should be paying off your student loan.
Well, I am paying into it. Like, I'm paying a couple $100 a month. But I should be paying more like $400 or $500. So that's paid off in like 10 years. And I don't disagree. They're right. They're not wrong. But this is like the first time that, like, the last couple of years are the first time that I've actually had real income. So I'm, like, paying off other debts first. Whack.
Whack, indeed.
Mm-hmm. But I should...
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I should have enough money with taxes and profit sharing stuff that I'll get the rest of the debts paid off here in the next month or so, and I can start putting like $100 from every paycheck into my student loans and try to wipe that out.
All right. Sounds like you have a pretty sensible plan.
Yeah, no, I totally admit that I had a little bit of spending from Christmas that got out of hand, but other than that, it's been pretty. I've been trying to be real good about not just like buying stuff willy-nilly. Okay. There's also this reality that I'm working so much in like the last year or so of life that like I haven't been as keen to just buy fun things right away, like when they come out, because half the time I don't have the time and or energy to watch them or consume them right when they come out anyhow. Which is why I haven't seen a movie in theaters in like 2.5 years, because I'm never fucking around when people go to see the movies. It's like, oh yeah, Cupcake, we're going to Black Panther. You coming? I'm like, it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Nah, I'm gonna stay home. I have to go to work at 6:30 on Wednesday. Like, I was actually talking to my friends. I'm like, anybody want to like sit down and go through like all the Marvel movies I've missed since like, I think the last one I saw was Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, I haven't seen any of the Marvel movies since that. Like, I have an idea of what happened, but like, I haven't watched them. I'm like, somebody want to sit down and just like I'll pay to like stream them off Google or whatever, but like, just like watch them with me, because otherwise I'm never gonna watch the shit. I'm just never gonna get to it. You look super upset. I'm sorry.
Do I?
Yeah. I don't know. I just have this feeling like you just want to just like force choke me.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yes, I do not want to force choke you.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry that I do not want to force choke you.
I'm retarded. I just feel like such a weirdo. Like, I'm 31. I don't see anybody outside of the people I work with and like my own family. Like, I have no social life to speak of. Even when we have a manager, like I don't go out. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna go sit in my chair.
Poor Cupcake.
And then, like, when I'm here, like, today I was off all day. I was going to watch anime. I didn't get to it. I watched random YouTube shit off my subscription list and then, like, took a nap.
Ooh, a nap.
Right? Not a long one, like 20 minutes, but I did take a nap for a little bit. I'm surprisingly not actually tired. Like, I'm not sleepy, just tired. So, like, I think I need a nap, but then I just lay here with my eyes closed and, like, nothing happens. And that feels pretty good. But, like, you know. I don't know where I was going with that conversation. Although they do say it's going to be like in the 50s tomorrow, which could be really nice.
That will be nice and warm.
It's green outside your window, isn't it? Fucking Californians. You know there's still snow on the ground here? Like, not a little bit, like a lot. Like, it's still white here.
I just happen to be in part of California that didn't get snow.
Fucking hate everybody who doesn't have snow right now. I got at least another 2 to 3 weeks before the snow's gone. Like, unless we get some seriously warm weather. And they're saying Monday, freezing rain.
Oh.
I mean, I don't care. I live like a mile and a half from work, so it's whatever. I'll just limp into work and it's fine. But I'm still like, I want it to be like I don't even give a fuck if it's warm. I just want the snow to be done and we go back to like rain. Like, I can handle rain. I'm tired of snow. We've had snow since like November. I'm done. I'm done with winter. It needs to be spring. It's supposed to be spring. It's fucking March the 24th, for God's sake.
Might have a small amount of rain tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. What are you laughing about, Spanky? Think you're funny? We'll make a snowman out of your corpse. You like my industrially large cup of coffee? It's like as big as my head.
Yes.
I've had like a non-stop chronic on and off, I don't know if it's tension or migraine headache for like a week and a half ever since our assistant disappeared without a fucking trace. Oh boy, is that guy a cunt. I don't say that very often, but he was the very picture in the end of it. This is a dude that talked up and down about like honor and loyalty and duty, and then like as soon as he was done, like as soon as he had another job lined up, he's just a fart in the wind. He's just gone. Like we worked the same weekend together, like the last weekend off 2 weeks ago. He's like, I'll see you Monday. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll see you Monday. Monday comes, like I don't see him. I asked my boss who's actually there, I'm like, did he call in? He's like, no, why? I'm like, it's 15 minutes past when he was supposed to be here. Not a word, doesn't answer his phone, just gone. Just gone. So I see there's a new anime coming out that looks really cute, but it's like one of those weird, like, murder ones. Like, everything's actually dark on the underside. Got some goofy name, like Dream Sweet Drops or some shit.
Dream Sweet Drops?
I'll look it up. Hang on, I'll look at our anime. It was posted on Reddit today, and I was watching the trailer, and I'm like, oh shit, what the hell is it? It starts out all, like, super sweet, and then the music gets all dark and, like, creepy, and I'm like, oh shit. Our anime. Gilgamesh's weapon.
Ringo, are you throwing up in the corner?
Black.
Ringo just threw up in the corner.
Black. And so Kiki's off to clean it up.
Hang on.
Ah, yes, there I found it. Okay.
Okay.
That are all cleaned up.
Yep.
The show's called Happy Sugar Life.
Happy Sugar Life.
And it's a psychological horror anime.
Of course it is.
So, another one I'll be skipping.
So I'll watch it.
You can tell us how excellent it was, because I can't do psychological horror, not without another person. That's pretty much been Spaghetti's deal with me. Is like we watch like the weird like when they cry type animes, because otherwise I'm just like, ew, too much. Cupcake's more of the cute girls doing cute things genre. Cute girls driving tanks. Cute girls running a cooking club. Cute girls playing card games. Actually, I really enjoyed Chihaya Furu. That was surprisingly really good. It's like what what was that one called? Something Witch. That was really good too. That was out of left field. Not Strike Witches. I own it. I can't think of. You really liked it a lot, and I mentioned that I had ordered it. You were like, "Oh, that's a good one."
Flying Witch?
Yes, the Flying Witch. Oh my god, that show was like, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to watch her live her life, and the funny shenanigans that her and her host family cousins get up to.
Yes.
And I'm still really excited. I think next fall I'm getting the copies of Area, which is supposed to be like one of the best slice of life animes ever made. That'll be fun. Oh, and I own the entirety of Sister Princess now. I don't think it's very good, but I own it.
Yay for owning it.
It's going to be one of the things that I watch just because fuck it.
Fuck it, indeed.
What
Don't actually attempt to fuck it.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's one of those things my buddy kept bringing the discs over, and so one of the other collectors offered me... See if I can get the shot of... Pull my fingers back. One of these girls is his sister. They're all in love with him.
Yeah.
Him. Oh, I'm sorry. And these girls, too. So there's like 18 of them. 16, sorry. And so one of them is his sister. The rest are not. He's playing Russian roulette with incest.
No.
The best kind of harem. Incestuous harem. So that ought to be good for a laugh. I'm trying to remember what else I've gotten since the last time we talked. I don't think very much. I've been trying not to buy things until they're on sale because I'm not watching anything anyway.
And sales are good.
Mm-hmm. The only reason I own Food Wars Part 2 is because it was on sale for Luck of the Irish for Sentai, and it was like, instead of being like $150, it was $100, and I was like, I can handle that. I'm still more amused by the fact that I have that $200 Gundam Wing Ultimate set. That's still in the plastic wrap. I got that like at Christmas. Just... Yeah, I don't know. The second season of Hayaku Akuyo is coming. The one about the guys playing volleyball. I don't remember ordering it, but I'm getting it apparently. So
Okay.
Yeah, I apparently went like pre-order crazy like over the summer when like the last Sentai sale was, and I don't remember ordering like half the shit that's been coming. It's like, oh, I ordered that. Oh, okay.
I've really just been watching the same stuff.
I really want to rewatch. That's in the near future. I want to rewatch Cardcaptor Sakura through before I start watching Clear Card. Although maybe I don't need to. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm following it pretty clearly without needing to.
Yeah, so maybe I could just skip it and just watch Clear Card, because that's only like, 12 episodes in?
It's currently on... let me load this. Episode 11. I'm behind a couple episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see the like the 2 Sailor Moon Crystal movies that are gonna make up the Dead Circus arc. Since they're not gonna do a show, they're just gonna do the movies, and then apparently Stars is gonna, or what was Stars is gonna make up the last season theoretically.
Yeah.
Because Dead Circus leads right into like the story arc that Stars covers, I think.
Yeah, it does.
I still need to wait for a sale on Sailor Moon's Crystal Season 3. I haven't bought that yet. I almost got it from Best Buy, but they wouldn't accept my coupon, so I didn't want to pay $80 for it.
Well, screw them.
Yeah, I can get it off Right Stuff for like 60-something. And that's like regular. That's before sale prices. I'm not missing too much. I need to order Sailor Moon Super S on Blu-ray. That's this coming month. I'm missing Sailor R Part 2 and Sailor Crystal Part 3 in the new releases. Yeah, so I got Season 1 and Season 2. I still haven't watched any of that either. God, what I wouldn't do for like a hyperbolic time chamber.
Well, you get a lot of watching done in one of those.
I wouldn't even need like the full, day that takes it into a year. I'd need like 6 hours. Give me like a third of a year, I could get all caught up. And the rest. Oh god, I'd sleep for a week.
I still don't know if I should bother to watch Super or not.
Like, is in the third season of the original?
No,
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
Sorry, I was like, kind of not. If you really love Dragon Ball Z, I would say yes.
I don't though.
After watching all of Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball, I have a newfound interest in Dragon Ball Z. Only because I had never seen Dragon Ball before. I've seen all of Dragon Ball Z, obviously having grown up with it. But I had never seen Dragon Ball all the way through. I'd seen like the first season or two. And honestly, I hate to say it, Dragon Ball is the strongest of the 3, in my opinion. I haven't seen all of Super, but like Dragon Ball like literally comes off as like the strongest. Like it's a shonen anime, shonen title, so it's like long running, but they kept it interesting. Like the power growth is slow but constant. Whereas like in Dragon Ball Z, there's huge spikes, and the same deal happens with Super, where they just shoot up. Like the start of Super, he's like, oh, the god of destruction, I can't fight him. And by the end of it, like the gods of destruction are like, oh god, Goku, the destroyer of universes?
Okay.
I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that's like, my friends have watched it through, and they're like, wait for the dub and just watch it. Like, you're not missing anything. I'm like, I kind of got that feeling. Like, I'll collect it out of an interest, because now I have Dragon Balls, so like I'll get Dragon Ball Z and I'll get Dragon Ball Super eventually, but there's no hurry. I mean, shit. I still have at least 2 seasons of Inuyasha left to watch, because I have the original last season and the final act, which I still don't own, but there's still no hurry. And I don't even know if I really care at this point, but I've come this far, so it's like, might as well finish the journey. Getting old is bullshit. I don't have enough time to watch anything. And it's like I want to finish it because I started it, but it's also like, I'd rather watch something I'm actually interested in. But at the same time, I've never, like, the stuff I have left to watch is the stuff I've never actually watched. Like, I got to a certain point and just kind of went, like, it's like a 15-year-old was just like, I'm done. I'm not watching this anymore. And then I'm like, well, I wonder what happened. Nothing of any real interest, obviously, but still interested. I mean, it's getting to the point now where I'm literally just going to like start taking like an hour of the day just to watch a couple episodes of something, even if I'm not really paying attention, just to start eating the pile down. Surprisingly, there's not a lot of stuff from my youth that hasn't aged well. There are some, obviously, but I was thinking about, like, I bought Outlaw Star and I worried that wouldn't hold up, and I loved Outlaw Star again. It was great again. And I'm hoping that when I open up Cowboy Bebop, that'll be just as good.
Well, Cowboy Bebop ages very well.
Yeah. You tell yourself that, like, you're not going to grow up to be a boring adult, and then it happens, and you're just kind of like, wow. And it's not even like, I feel like I'm missing out on adventures. Like, people are like, you should, like, go places and see new things, and I'm like, can't I just stay home? That seems way nicer. Like, the idea of traveling is awesome, but it's also like, I don't really want to travel. Like, I've had conversations, like, with people, and they're like, oh, you should go out and travel the world. And I'm like, why? What am I doing by doing that? Like, seeing new places is good, but like, why? What's the impetus behind it? Well, it's good for you. Why is it good for me? Explain to me what I'm getting out of spending the money to fly or drive or whatever to these places and see them. Like, seeing them is good. I'm not arguing that, but like, why? What am I getting from it? Because I can't think of anything that I would get from going to a lot of these random locations that everybody tells me I have to see before I die, that I feel this innate need that I have to do it. It's like, okay.
Not everybody needs to go out and see the world.
But you have to. You can't be a complete human being without doing it. Why not? Well, because it's good for you, and it builds character. Oh, I've had plenty of character building in my life. I don't need to go places to have that happen. I think I would be more interested in going places if I was going with someone else. But, like, the idea of going by myself is just not appealing.
No.
I mean, not that I wouldn't enjoy it, but it's like, eh. But you want to become one with nature. That's okay. I like technology. Give me my my cocoon of IT.
That's a different kind of nature.
I mean, everybody enjoys, like, you know, sitting by the stream while fish shit in it, but, like, I don't know. Not to get all philosophical.
Well, I didn't really think about nor worry about growing up and being boring or anything. I didn't really think about growing up, so. Not in a lame, I'll never grow up, more in a suicidal, I'll never get there kind of thing.
I never thought I was going to live to 45.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I never really, like, considered, like, you know, what was I going to be doing in my 30s? I figured somebody would have killed me by now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty heavily bullied through my, you know, childhood and teenage years. I figured someone, you know, I'd be a statistic at some point, and that would be that. I wouldn't have to worry about living this long. I mean, there was a period of suicidal tendencies, but, like, that was more just, like, trying to grip with, like, my mortality. Like, it was less like, I didn't feel like I had a place, so why was I even here? And then I realized, like, that's a lot of people, and then, like, it didn't bother me as much. Like, it was never the thing you see on the TV where they're like, I hate my life, I don't want to be here. It was more like, I don't have a place, nobody likes me, why do I even bother continuing?
Yeah.
Which is dark in its own special way, but it's like, at a certain point, I came to terms with that. It's like, yeah, you know what? I am. I'm always going to be the outsider, and that's okay, because there's nothing I can do about it, and, you know, make peace with it. And then it was like, you know, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, there was this moment in the last 6 months where I was talking to a real life friend, and she told me that she's a big pile of trash, and I was like, what are you talking about? And I've said this before, but it's like how you are not trash. Yes, I'm a big pile of hot trash. No, you're not. You are not trash. Don't think these things about yourself. I can't make you not think them, but you know that you're not trash. The only person beating themselves up here is me. Like, you should not. It makes my heart ache when people say stuff like that. It's like, you're not trash. You'll never be trash. Trash is somebody who looks upon another person and goes, well, they're inferior to me. That's trash. Like, the woman thinks, as far as I can tell, thinks that she's unattractive. And trying to get across to her that not only are you attractive in the physical sense, because, oh my God, the woman is a stunner, but she's a good person on the inside too. Like, she's got her heart in the right place, and she's, I was just like, it's heartbreaking. Like, I'm a mess. I don't make any excuses for my behavior and what the things I've done and the things I say. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm fucking, like, I used to say, I'm not a man, I'm a beaten dog. It's like, I just don't, and I realize I can't change that, but it's like, I want people to see themselves like the world tends to see them. And people have this really negative self-worth. Like, everybody I talk to has some variation to some degree of the way I've felt about myself my entire life. And it's not true. It's almost inevitably never true. No one sees you as badly as you see yourself. And it's like, I hear my coworkers talking shit about each other, and I'm like, and like one day I just told them, like, what do you think about me? Like, I want to know the truth. Like, how bad am I? And they're like, I don't have anything to say bad about you. You work hard. You're always here. Like, you try to make the best of bad situations. It's like, but I hear you guys talking shit about, like, oh, this guy doesn't do this, and this guy is garbage, and this person is never here when they're supposed to be here. It's like, do you really think that about these people, or are you just trying to blame somebody for something that's out of your control? And invariably, it's always that. And going back to her, it's like, she's like, nobody will ever want me. I'm like, how could you say these things? I mean, there's a girl on the server that I moderate. She's 17. She's like, horrible self-esteem and self-image problems. And I'm like, don't think these things about yourself. They're not good. I know you feel that way, but you're more than that. And don't let society tell you that you're not worth anything. Don't let your peers tell you that you're not worth it. Don't let your own mind do that to you, that beat yourself up that you're not worth it. It's heartbreaking. And I know it's heartbreaking because the greatest gift my father ever gave me, when he lay dying, he told me that I was his greatest achievement. This is a man that I knew loved me, but didn't think I was worth the fucking flesh I was made of. And to have him with his dying breath tell me, son, you're my greatest achievement. There's nothing greater I've done with my life than raise you to be a good man. And it's like, you think that about me? Me, the biggest loser in the universe, who can't do anything right? And that's when I had this, like, I don't call it epiphany because that fucking glorifies it, but it was like, maybe we look at ourselves and think horrible things about ourselves that the world just doesn't see. And Kiki's just like, well, fuck, Cupcake just unleashed the dragon. Sorry, it's been rattling around in my head for a while.
It's okay.
It's just one of those things. Like, my dad talked about being a true humanitarian and shit, and I realize I'm kind of a shitty human being sometimes, but I try my best to, like, treat people the way I would hope the world would treat me, which I realize is, like, a stupid thing to say, but it's like, we all want to be treated well. And so I try to be the person. It's not much, but I try to affect change by treating people the way that they wish that they want to see themselves, that they want the world to treat them. People want to feel, beautiful or handsome or pretty or whatever word you want to use. They want to feel loved and wanted. And no matter how weird or strange a person might be, like, to try to treat them like a human being, no matter how upset or short-tempered or whatever you might be feeling, to try to just realize that people are doing their best, and some people's best are not as good as others, or maybe their best today is not going to be the best that you're hoping for. And realize that everybody's got a struggle, everybody's got something they had to deal with or are dealing with. and just fucking take it 1 second at a time. And then they're just regular cunts, but that's a whole nother kettle of fish. I've had a couple people that I'm pretty sure are irredeemable assholes. And that has more to do with the way that they treated other people than the way that they behaved them. Well, that is how they behaved themselves, but it's not the way they were talking about themselves, it's the way they were treating other people. I'm going, you have much to answer for. But I mean, it's like, I don't expect everybody to ever have any self-worth, because I know, God, I fucking struggle with it to this day. I spent the majority of my late childhood, adolescence, and most of my early adulthood feeling like I was garbage. Just garbage. Didn't amount to anything. And was never going to measure up. And then I realized that I was just relying on how the world saw me too much. And that the people that were talking to me were kind of assholes. I mean, I hate to admit it, but there have been 2 interactions with my buddy Raid after my dad died that just fucking like set the perspective of where we're both at as adults. And it was just like, he came out, I don't know, like a month ago at this point, and he visited on his birthday in late February, and we were talking. He's like, I'm gonna be rich. I'm trading stocks. And I'm gonna be wealthy, and I'm gonna be amazing. I'm like, that's really good for you, man. I really hope it works out for you. And he's like, well, I'm gonna be wealthier than you are. And I'm like, dude, I wish you nothing but the best. I want you to do well. I'm like, life is not a competition, champ. How much money you have doesn't mean anything when you die. It's what you do with it. Can't take it with you. And then he's talking about, he's having relationship issues because of certain interactions with family members, and it's like, I can't change the world's perspective on that, man. I know you want to be in the right, but society's going to judge you in the wrong. There's nothing you can do about that. So if you feel like with your heart, with all your soul and your being, that this is the right decision to make, then go for it. And you're just gonna have to disavow society if you want to continue down this path. And there was an interaction, because I was talking to some people, and he was like, there was a really awkward conversation about, to put it bluntly, the girl I was talking about who called herself trash. And I was talking about how we've been going out and this and that, and he's like, well, are you a thing? And I'm like, well, we hang out, but I mean, I wouldn't go that far. He goes, well, have you sealed the deal? I'm like, is it really that important? Like, we have fun, it doesn't matter. He's like, well, is she yours? What? No, she's a human being. This is not the kind of thinking you should be using. She's not an object, champ. She's a human being. If she decides tomorrow that she's sick of me, then she's sick of me, and I gotta deal with it. She's a sentient human being. She's not a thing. She's not a trophy to be acquired. Like, it was awkward. Like, I'm not saying I'm not trying to imply that I have some superior high ground here. What I'm suggesting is that he lacks the growth of perspective. He's growing older, but he's not growing wiser. He's not learning from his experiences. I fully recognize that the people I interact with have made me a better person. They force me to re-examine my perspectives and to re-examine how I look at the way I consider things or I experience things. I'm going out with a girl and it's like, she's another human being. She's not like, it's always object oriented. And that's so weird to me, in that she's my friend. I mean, like, I would never want, I would hate myself if I were ever to consider her in that way. Like, and this isn't some sort of, like, goofy socialist, agenda that they make fun of on the internet. Like, I mean this, like, in the most pure humanitarian form. Like, I am not driven by the need to have the nicest thing. And that takes into, like, the whole societal perspective of men must acquire a beautiful woman or they're not worth shit. It's like, the fuck is wrong with you people? It's poisonous machismo. It's a terrible perspective to have. It's why men can't fucking do anything. That's why you hear a nice guys finish last. No, fucking idiots are finished last. It's fucking aggravating. I sit and I think about this shit because I don't have much else to do. And it's like, there is no such thing as the friend zone. You are not of interest to her. And you're probably not of interest to her because you treat her as a means to the end. Not as another human being that you could have a fucking real relationship with. Like, every time I hear my friends talking about, like, oh, well, she blew me up. She blew you off because you're probably approaching this the wrong way. Or maybe she's just not interested. Or maybe she's had a bad day. Or maybe she's just not into guys. There's this weird sensation of realizing that my final excuse me, my final and ultimate success in life with building relationships with everyone was treating everyone like they were a potential friend and getting to know people and finding out what made them tick. And when I say tick, I'm not talking like serious psychological stuff. I'm talking like, so what's going on in your life? Anything interesting? any good plays, any activities you really enjoy, and just having conversations about what people enjoy. Like, I don't know a lot about sports, but like, I built strong interpersonal relationships with my coworkers because I was willing to shut my mouth for 10 seconds and just listen to them talk about hockey. I don't know much about hockey, but I'm learning. I'm learning by listening to them. I've had more success as a grown-ass man with women by treating them as friends. What a concept. Kiki looks like she's just ready to just hang me out to dry. Just put me on the clothesline and just shuffle me out there under the sun and let the wind blow.
No. Why would I do that?
Because I have it coming.
No, you don't. You just spouted some very well-informed things.
I tell that to my conservative friends. And
your conservative friends can go off a cliff.
Is it a short pier into deep water?
Yes.
And I may or may not have welded the door shut. But I'm dead serious. Like, I know it's some pretty like aggravatingly intensive, passionate shit, but it's like I've had more luck with being an entertaining, interesting human being by having conversations with people with shit I don't even know anything about. You know, we went to this pizza place over by her house, and I had an entertaining conversation. Sorry, let me back up a minute. The booths at the place were all full up, so we sat at the bar. Now, I made conversation with the people on either side of me and the bartender just to kill time while we waited for our food. And we had some serious, fun, intellectual conversations. Not about politics or religion or love, just stupid shit. The Vikings are playing the Packers. The weather. Like stupid small talk, chit chat. But fun, you know. Like, man, this weather, I tell you what, like, you can't win, you can't lose. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. It's stupid. It was entertaining. Everybody had fun. Everyone had a laugh. I'm an introvert. I hate talking to people. What? Like, me and her are both, like, serious, like, home buddies. Like, we love to be home.
Yeah.
And there was this moment when we were sitting in the car coming back, and she's like, how did you do that? I'm like, do what? She's like, you just struck up conversation with like 5 or 6 random strangers for like 30 or 40 minutes while we were waiting on the food. I'm like, yeah? She's like, you don't talk. I'm like, it's just a game. It's just a skill you pick up in life. I was forced to learn it because I went into sales. Otherwise, I probably would have never learned how to make small talk with random strangers. I don't like people. Like, I'm not a group person. Like, I can handle 1 or 2 people, but like actual serious conversations with more than that, like I'm shot. And that's not tooting my own horn. Like, I'm just being, it's like, it's weird stuff. Like, the whole idea of, I am beginning to dislike the whole idea of personality types as a concept in general.
Oh, those personality tests?
Yeah.
Or do you just mean in general?
Well, I mean, like, okay, yes, they're good descriptors. Like, I'm not saying, like, introverts and extroverts and stuff don't exist, but I mean, like, it's not that simple. Like, labels are dumb. And, like, the labels I give myself are dumb. You are more than the sum of your parts. And if you continue to live by the labels you give yourself, eventually you come to resemble the things you say about yourself, no matter how hard you try not to. Or at least that's what I feel like. I can't prove it. There's no empirical evidence I have. I'm old, cranky, and my bones hurt. And I'm tired of people saying things that just don't make any sense. It's like the last time she said that she was trash, I lost my mind. I looked at her and said, if you're trash, then I'm Oscar the Grouch. Because I love trash.
Oh.
Everyone makes that response. But it's like, what are you supposed to say to somebody that continually refers to themselves as garbage? It's like, fine. Then I'm Oscar the Grouch. Like, I understand that I can't make people change the perspective of no matter how much I tell somebody that they're not, they're gonna keep feeling it. So maybe we just play into it. Fine. You think you're that way? Then I love you for who you are. And that'll be that. I don't care. People are too concerned with being perfect.
Being perfect is very American.
Oh, yes. Very Western society in general. You must achieve the impossible goals. You must also achieve the minimum goals. In this country, that's have a house, have a spouse, 2.5 kids, a dog, enough money to have a crazy, wild storybook retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
Go ahead.
No, I think XKCD said it best. You're an adult, you decide what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Is his name Randall Monroe? But I mean...
Is that his name?
I can't remember. I think it's something like that is the author's name. But the point being is, as a teenager, that comic was new for me. And I remember thinking that was a really interesting, or really heartfelt statement. And as an adult, or as somebody who can no longer, that the rest of society refuses to see anything other than adult, because I'm finally old enough that it's like I'm not hey you kid to anybody anymore. I'm hey you mister.
Mr. Cupcake.
That's Doc Cupcake to you.
No, it's not.
I didn't spend 8 years in evil scientist medical school to be called Mr. Cupcake. But my point being is, like, we're adults. We decide what that means. And we shouldn't be hamstrung by our elders that we have to achieve what they achieved. No! We're never going to achieve what they achieved. It's not possible anymore. And even more so for our juniors who are coming up now behind us. Like, the American dream is dead. It is dead. And it's going to stay dead for at least a little while. We are the generation that will earn less than our parents did. And we will earn less because our parents' generation stacked the cards against us. And God willing, we'll make it better for the guys behind us. Or coming up behind us. That maybe we can try to fix it so that they don't get screwed so hard. Not popular opinions to have at this point, but oh well. Throw me in the gulag.
They're the right opinions to have in my book.
I mean, there's a whole section of our elders generation that are like, fuck the environment, fuck the kids. Sometimes literally. Oh God, I don't even want to get into that.
Oh.
And they're like, I'll be dead soon. It won't be my problem. I'm gonna go out with as much comfort as I can have before the end comes. And it's not everybody. Like, my parents didn't think that way, but there's definitely a subsection of their generation that did or do, depending on post or pretense. It's just unfortunate that we have the ability to unfuck ourselves, and it's not going to happen. And I'm amazed at the stuff they got in the budget bill this year. Like, they made employer skimming of tip pools illegal. How the hell did they pull that off? And it says more about how disorganized the Republican Party is that they got that in the omnibus budget bill and got it signed. Like, the military is still getting a raise in their budget, which is not shocking given the fact that we're probably going to be going to war in the next 10 years. It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. It's happening.
Although with who, I can't say at this point, because I don't think it's going to be North Korea with the way the Chinese are putting the screws to them.
No.
I originally thought them, but now it's like, I don't know where we're going to go to war, because there's not really any conflict that we need to be involved with. Pretty much proxy wars everywhere.
Yeah. We're very busy with our proxy wars.
Oh, yeah. Giggity, giggity. I don't know. I
mean, you could argue Russia, but no.
The big countries are never going to go to war directly with each other.
No,
it's not going to happen.
No,
it's just too damaging to the world economy for, China or Europe or Russia or the United States to be having direct conflict with each other at this point. It can't happen. It would destroy the world economy. I don't know. It's madness.
It'll be someone. It'll be someone.
Oh, yeah.
It'll probably be for all the wrong reasons.
That's usually how it goes. Oh. Wow, that really is a lot of backlight. Crazy. Okay. Just curious. I am Cupcake, destroyer of worlds.
No, you're not.
Choose the form of your destroyer. The form has been chosen. A 400-pound, 50-foot-tall walking cupcake? Damn. We screwed up. I'm almost out of coffee. Damn.
Oh no. Everybody panic.
That's the grounds in the bottom. Ugh.
Oh.
Pretty. Just like I like my fiction. Ugh. That is gritty. Wow. Okay. Black. What? Ah. Let's see. What else can Cupcake talk about tonight?
I don't know.
Black.
Well, I mean, ignoring that a lot of the front end of this is me not being in the room.
Yeah. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. I mostly went upstairs, made coffee, cleaned my glasses.
We are at 2 hours.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, let's we can stop.
Okay.
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party with Kiki and Cupcake. Stay safe, stay woken, and always thirsty for justice. Farewell.
So, good night, Cupcake.
Good night, Kiki.
Transmission terminated.